Well, welcome to the August edition of Cornerstone Presents. Hi, I'm Richard Montez, and welcome to Lelystad, Holland. I just arrived here yesterday after a wonderful, successful production of Joseph in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. But let me show you all that the Lord did in the month of August in South Africa. Here's a short report.
I was happy to arrive in South Africa and was hosted by dear friends Philip and Yvette Georgiou. We would present The Judgment Seat with Lighthouse Family Church. We went into auditions and got right to work. Wildlife abounds here, and any spare time I had, I was found hunting for animals to shoot, with my camera, of course. I was asked to preach at Lighthouse, but we were in a bind. We had no theater, and we were desperate. Finally, a pastor came and offered us his venue. He offered us his church, his staff, congregation, and he promised to fund the entire production. There was only one stipulation, however, that we would change the show to Joseph. It meant more work, but with such a big church, we could manage. I spoke with the Lighthouse pastor, Andrew Pierce, who graciously agreed to help in any way the church could. We started over and we re-auditioned. We began rehearsals and things were going well. However, something went dreadfully wrong. The same pastor was now backing out. He canceled the use of his church, although God provided another hall. He canceled because he was afraid he'd lose all his money, but then God provided all the funds. Then he canceled again because his staff was overworked and pulled them out. He finally said that this show couldn't happen, that it was impossible to do it all in 3 weeks. Sadly, I called the actors together to cancel. However, I told them that the show would go on. Now the miracles could begin. First, we got a venue for free. We got free sound, sets, and other things just for free. Rehearsals continued with my amazing cast of actors. We worked, but the enemy was also fighting us, from sickness to actors dropping to problems getting the costumes from Croatia. God provided tickets for the girls to bring costumes, another miracle. And they had another miracle when they were able to get their visas all in one day. Lastly, we didn't have a children's choir, but the week of the show, the Lord provided amazing children who were incredibly disciplined to be part of the children's choir. Finally, it was opening day, and as we prepared, the winds howled as if to voice outrage. The lethal blow came when right before the opening, the power in the city went out. We had no lights. We had a crowd sitting in the dark. We waited for 45 minutes past the opening, and everyone was telling me to just send the people home. I got up, but instead I presented the children's choir who would sing. We had some floodlights which lit the stage. Then I invited the actors to come out and to do excerpts from the show. The crowd cheered. The Lord had saved the night. The show did happen. The power came on later that night, and the rest of the weekend went great, resulting in just hundreds of people being touched by the direct correlation between Joseph and Jesus Christ. We had a curtain call for the actors, and afterwards we took cast and crew pictures. I am so proud of my Gideon's Army who never gave up hope, but I'm especially thankful to Pastor Andrew Pierce, Fenlon Petit, and Wendy Pierce for their amazing faith in God and in me. It was finally time for me to say goodbye, and I flew on to Frankfurt, then on to Amsterdam. Well, as you can see, it was 1 month filled with miracles. There were many oppositions against the production, which is spiritual warfare. But did you know that we are not fighting a battle, we're winning one? Well, that wraps up this month's edition of Cornerstone Presents for the month of August. And now, here in Lelystad and in Amsterdam, we're getting ready for a new production called The View, which we'll be doing at the Rye Theater in Amsterdam. Please keep us in prayer, won't you? Well, that's it. For Cornerstone Presents, I'm Richard Montez.